Hi, boys, and welcome to Monday, February 1st. And I'm down low at our circle area because I wanted to show you all of the cool things we have for February. So I'm going to start over here, and you can see our mailbox for our Valentines. And there's our bear all dressed up. Here's some books that we'll be reading. And if you look over here, you're going to see our calendar, more fun books to read. And you're going to see our colors of pink and red and our shape of the heart. All right, so welcome to February. Welcome to pink and red for our colors. A heart, thumbs together, and we're going to kind of put our pointer fingers on an arch to make a heart. That's going to be our shape of the month. The month is February, and we are going to talk about going to the dentist. We're going to talk about being kind and loving and having happy thoughts and happy feelings toward our friends. We're going to talk about how we feel, our emotions. We're going to talk about opposites. That's something so exciting. And to start our month off, we are going to talk about my friend, the penguin. So here he is. Here is my friend, the penguin. And the book I'm going to read you today is Penguin's Big Hill. All right, so we are also going to we're going to make our penguin craft. And penguins love to eat fish. So I put some goldfish in here that we're going to fill our penguin's tummy with. Then we're going to do a little bit of sequencing, putting our after we cut our 4 rectangles in order. We're going to practice some go-go penguins. We're going to start at our dot and we're going to move through to have our penguins slide, waddle, and swim. And then we're going to do some tearing, and this is going to be super fun because it is tin foil that we're tearing. And we're going to tear some of this foil. It's pretty sparkly. And we are going to glue that on the Penguins on Ice worksheet. All right, so in February, of course, we start with a different prayer. So I'll read it to you first, and then we'll say it together. Lord, teach me to pray and hear my prayer. You hear all the words I say, for you are everywhere. Amen. All right, so let's try that together. Let's fold our hands and bow our heads. Lord, teach us to pray and hear my prayer. You hear all the words I say, for you are everywhere. Amen. Okay, so my favorite song for the month of February. I'm going to scoot this over so you can see me better. My favorite song for the month of February is Please Be My Valentine. And you're going to laugh at me because of the way I do it, but I just love it, okay? Please be my Valentine, please be my Valentine. I'll be yours if you'll be mine. Please be my Valentine. I have a little Valentine, red and white, with ribbons and lace. I'm a beautiful sight. I can say I love you on Valentine's Day. Just put me in an envelope and mail me away. And as you can see over here at our mailbox, just put me in an envelope and mail me away. We're going to have a lot of fun poems. Tomorrow we're going to talk about Mr. Groundhog. Oh, there's so many fun things to do in February. I love it. Okay, so let's jump on in to the color pink and the color red. There's so many fun things that can be red, but for Valentine's Day, we see so many red and pink hearts. So that kind of takes care of our colors and our shape because the shape is a heart. So we're going to see, if you look at my bear here, you see the pretty red hearts that he has on his necklace. And you can see the red and pink that he has on his ear muffs. His ears are up here, though. I guess we have to move them up. but he's so cute. He's so silly too. All right, so let's jump into, we don't have a letter this week. We're going to start a letter next week. I'm giving us a week to get used to our new month, and then we'll start letters next week. So I'm going to read you the first story that I have here, Discovering My World, Penguins. Penguins are beautiful. I just think they're awesome creatures. I love the colors. I love how they move. I just think they're beautiful. Many penguins live in Antarctica. And we've talked about our Arctic friends. Last month we talked about icebergs and our animal friends that live in the Arctic. Well, penguins live in the Arctic. Penguins are birds, but they can't fly. Penguins are birds, but they can't fly. Penguins walk on ice, and look at them slide. They're on their tummies sliding. They look like they have so much fun. Penguins use their wings to swim, and look at them covered with snow and ice. The Arctic is very, very cold. It's always cold in the Arctic. Mother penguins usually lay one egg, and one parent keeps the egg warm. And you can see over here, this parent is keeping the egg warm. The egg doesn't touch the ground, it's on their feet. So they're keeping it off the ground and warm. One parent catches fish to eat. And then one day, the baby hatches. The egg starts to crack and the baby hatches, and both parents care for the chick. So a baby penguin is a chick, and they take turns feeding it. So look at the little chick, and they take turns feeding the chick. So they go get their fish, and then they share with the baby. That is all about penguins. So they have feathers, and their feathers have a coating. It's almost like wax, and that prevents the water from getting in underneath the feathers, so that helps keep them warm. And as I said, I think penguins are absolutely beautiful. All right, let's go to our worksheet, Go Penguins. We're going to put our names on the top, and then you're going to start with your dot, and you're going to take your time, and you're going to follow the path till you get to the penguin and let him slide. You're going to go zigzag here until you get my penguin over here to waddle, and then we're going to go like an ocean, waves, to get my penguin to swim. So I'm just going to do the first one. I'm going to use red because red's the color of the month. And I'm going to start out by putting my name on the top. Okay. And then I'm just going to do this I think this is a pretty cool pattern here. It kind of reminds me of the top of a castle. And I have started on my dot, and I have followed my pattern all the way over to my penguin friend here. And when I get there, he can slide. If you'd like to color your penguins in, you can. When it's coloring time, you can put that aside. All right, I'm not going to take much time and do the other two with you. You know what to do. You can pause the video, and you can do these, or you can put them aside and do them later. All right, so now let's go to a penguin chick hatches. Now we just talked about this, that the penguins, baby penguins are called chicks. So get your scissors out and remember to take your time. And we're going to go on this first line here. You see the scissors on the first line, and we're going to cut the top off. We don't need this part. So we can put that to the side. And now you're just going to have, it just depends how your paper is shaped when I copied it. But I think you're going to end up having 4 rectangles. They're going to have 2 long sides and 2 short sides. Maybe some of them will be squares though. All right, so we're going to follow the line. And again here. I think I gave you white paper, a long piece of white paper. And we are going to look at our pictures and decide which comes first. So in our book, if you remember, it says mother penguins usually lay one egg. So there's the egg. So I think we should start with the egg. Okay, so that would be number 1. And then if we look at our pictures and move over to number 2, we can see what's happening in number 2 is the egg is starting to crack. So that's what would come next. And remember, I tell you, when you're sequencing, when you're putting things in order, it's easy if you tell the story, because as you're telling the story, you're putting things in order. So a mommy penguin laid an egg. Okay, in the story it says mommy and daddy took turns keeping the egg warm. One day the egg started to crack. Right, and then out of the egg we see a baby chick, a baby penguin, a chick. Okay, and then the last picture we have is mommy and daddy take care of the chick. So there's the chick, mommy and daddy take care of the chick. So our story is mommy laid an egg, daddy and mommy take care of the egg, they take turns, the egg starts to crack. Out of the egg comes our chick, our baby penguin, and mommy and daddy both take turns taking care of the chick. So if you are putting these in order on your paper and you're using your glue stick, and you're going 1, 2, 3, and 4. This is your last picture, starting with your first and ending with your last. All right, awesome job. All right, so penguins on ice. As you can tell, I really like penguins because I gave you a lot of work on penguins today. But I am just fascinated with them. And when you go to the aquarium, you can see penguins, and I just love it. Okay, so penguins on ice. So what we're doing here is I'm going to give you the aluminum foil or tin foil. I call it tin foil. Okay, I gave you a couple pieces of this, and we are going to tear it, which is going to be so much fun. And then we're going to tear it again. Just tear pieces about that big. Here's some pieces. Got my finger caught on a staple right before I came to meet with you boys. So I have a boo-boo. Okay, so I'm going to cut a couple pieces. Now, ice is shiny and it's slick. And when the sunshine goes on it, it's really bright. So I'm going to take my glue stick and I'm just going to put it all the way across on the pond. So we have some glue on the pond. I find it easier to put the glue sticks on the paper and then put the paper on, especially because it's tin foil. Okay, so here's my picture, and I'm going to take tin foil and make sure the shiny side is up. And we're just going to glue this on to make the icy it's so pretty because it's really shiny. You might need to go back and put more glue stick on. This is what it's going to look like for your penguins to go out and go sliding on the ice. Okay, and you're just going to keep doing that until you have a beautiful, shiny, shimmering pond. I just think that looks so much fun. And you can keep tearing, and you can make the pieces smaller if you want, or you can make them bigger, whatever you feel like doing. But I just think that tearing the tin foil is pretty cool. All right, so before we do our penguin eating our fish, I'd like to read our second book called Penguin's Big Hill. On a cold winter day, as I sat warm and cozy, my friends called from outside. Their cheeks were bright and rosy. Get up, you sleepyhead. Come on, let's go and play. We're all sliding down the big, big hill today. I got out of bed and I put on my hat and I looked at that hill and then I just sat. Look at that big hill. That big scary hill was just way too high. My friends pulled me up and said, come on, just let's try. Oh boy, I don't know. We marched to the top in the deep, deep snow. Then I turned and looked down at my house far below. My friends stood still and so did I. That big, big hill was just so high. It really is. Look at how small his house looks. Brave Pete went first. He flew in the air. He came back down, but he didn't know where. Look at him. Woo! Well, penguins do like to slide. Pat was afraid, so he closed his eyes. He slid very fast for someone his size. Look, he doesn't want to look. No, I don't want to look. Paula went next with a big belly flop. We all heard her yell, how do I stop? Penny ran past shouting, let's go. And all we could see was a big cloud of snow. Pammy slid next without a sound. She landed at the bottom, but she was upside down. Now it was my turn. I blinked and I stared. My friends didn't know, but I was very scared. I took a deep breath. I couldn't say no. I closed my eyes tight and said, okay, here I go. I slid to the left. I slid to the right. I slid past a bear. I hoped he didn't bite. I started rolling over as I slid down. I turned into a snowball. I was fluffy, white, and round. When I got to the bottom, I rolled to a stop. I shook off the snow and I took a look at the top. That big, big hill wasn't so bad. I did it myself, and now I am glad. I slid down that big, big hill today. Let's all go again. What do you say? Whee! They look like they're having a lot of fun. They went up to the top of that hill again and again and slid down. Penguins like to slide. Penguins like to waddle. Penguins like to swim. So it's all things that they like to do. Okay, so our last craft today is a penguin. Okay, so you can color this, you can paint it, whatever you would like to do. And then when you're done, you get to open up your bag of goldfish. You can have a couple. They're so, so yummy, as long as mommy and daddy say it's okay. And then you're going to put glue on your penguin's tummy. Penguins love, love fish. So we're going to take just a couple, maybe 3 or 4. And you're going to put your glue right on his tummy, and you're going to glue these fish right on. Now, I have my glue stick, but you might want to use liquid glue. I don't know if the glue stick's going to hold, but we'll see. I'm going to use my glue stick. So I'm going to put on a couple of these fish. There's one in his tummy. I'm going to do another one. And there's 2 in his tummy. So we are going to fill his tummy with goldfish. And like I said, you can color, you can paint, whatever you want to do. Wow, was that a fun day with penguins? I love penguins. I think they're so beautiful and they're so fun to watch. And I think it's pretty amazing that they live in the Arctic, which is so cold, and they love it. So let's end our day, our first day of February with, oh, I know, this is fun. Okay. If I were a happy monster, I'd go, and I would smile. If I were a sad monster, what would I do, boys? Sad. If I were a mad monster, show me your mad face. Stomp, stomp, stomp. I am mad. If I were a scared monster, how would you look? Right, show me your scared monster. So a happy monster with a smile. A sad monster, sad face. A mad monster, stomp, stomp, stomp. And a scared monster. And that is what we're going to talk about the whole month. We're going to talk about our emotions and how we feel. So super good job today. You worked so hard and I'm so proud of you. And I will see you tomorrow for Groundhog's Day, because we need to know whether that groundhog is going to see his shadow and whether we're going to have 6 more weeks of winter or we're going to have an early spring. Super excited. I'll see you tomorrow, boys. Bye-bye.